Dr. Dye is a busy man these days. This time it's off to Indianapolis, Indiana to the Creation Evidence Expo, a 5-day conference where he will serve as a guest speaker. But first, he's going to drop in on some old friends at the Trinity Broadcasting Network.
How are you? See you just getting in.
Yeah.
God bless you. This is our first time meeting. This is Brother Mark Crouch.
Oh, please to meet you.
Yeah,
It
this
seems
is
like we met maybe last, were you here last year?
I did program with
no,
Dr.
you were
Baugh.
with Dr. Baugh, that's right.
I think what Dr. Boyd is trying to get across how important it is that our
Young people know the truth about it's not evolution but creation. That's the message we're trying to get hold of. That just immediately pops up in your heart, or you just I'm with you. But I want if I know where you're going.
preachers especially, is there, and for those of you who are tuning in, Dr. Jackson is part of the...
Accompanying Dr. Dye is Dr. Charles Jackson, an expert in science education who disputes the validity of the Indiana school system's biology textbook.
Our next guest, Dr. Willie Dye from Los Angeles, California, is an expert spirit-filled Christian archaeologist. The man knows his stuff. We're going to get out of the way so he can tell you some of the stuff he knows. Dr. Willie Dye, Los Angeles, California. You and Dr. Jackson are a paradox. You think it's scientists, you think it's stuffy, and, really hard. But I don't want to be repetitive and redundant. I love your spirit. I love your spirit.
Praise the Lord.
I appreciate that.
Just really happy to be here and just to have this opportunity to share the Word of God, to share the love of God, and to share with the audience all of the fantastic things that I've been involved in. Just the Lord has opened up tremendous doors for me.
Yeah.
Just recently, on the History Channel, doing a documentary for Indiana Jones and the Ultimate Quest. And they have coined me as the modern day Indiana Jones.
Wow. African American too.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it's one of the few African American archaeologists
You're the first time
in the
there.
world. Yes.
Wow.
And that has opened up a tremendous door in a lot of communities, because the way I really began to really understand what archaeology is. And I went to one of the seminars, and afterward we talked, and they said, you know what, I've been in this ministry in archaeology for almost 50 years, and I never met a black archaeologist. So he was the one that encouraged me to go to school.
A wonderful dinner was prepared in honor of the guest speakers and hosted by the Creation Evidence Expo director, Fredrick Boyd, and his wife Elaine.
Please include God's wisdom in that, because He gives them wisdom. He gives them understanding of truth. And they're able to take that truth, scientific truth, and meld it together with the Word of God and show exactly how science corroborates the Word of God. So this evening we have with us, first of all, Dr. Carl Baugh. He comes to us from the great state of Texas. We have Dr. Willie Dye. Comes to us from Los Angeles, California. Dr. Charles Jackson is with us from Kentucky. And his wife Bonnie with him. Bonnie, you want to stand there with your husband? We have Mr. Nick Lally from New Jersey. Dr. Thomas Sharp and his wife Diane are here. And they come from the state that's okay. Oklahoma.
Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you all for being with us. We appreciate it being here. So you folks here to talk about creationism. Okay, here's my question. Where the heck did Cain's wife come from?
Easy question.
That's right. No problem.
Who do you want to answer that question?
We'll start with Dr. Willie Dye. I'm just being facetious. Thank you. Appreciate you gentlemen checking it out.
Yeah, I just put it simply. There are four main questions that mankind has a problem with. They can't answer these questions. People that are outside the family of God, they have a problem with these questions. Who am I? Where did I come from? What's my purpose here on earth? And what is my future?
Oh, those are real easy questions. I'm here to make everybody's life easier. Duh.
But those are the core things I think that need to be addressed. And then, of course, since our society has been inundated with evolutionary theory for the last 150 years, our colleges, our schools, all our learning institutions have been, inundated with that thought. So, basically, when we talk about creation, you have to go back to the Word of God, because there are 5 major events in Genesis chapter 1 through 11 that affected all of mankind: creation, the fall, the curse, the flood, and the dispersion. And so with those questions that are answered in those events, because it all affected mankind, and so that needs to be taught, that needs to be discussed, that needs to be basically talked about, in our schools and colleges, in our universities. So
now, let me ask you this, gentlemen. Does the issue of evolution, and I guess is it incompatible, with the biblical record? I go back to the old line in the movie Inherit the Wind, where they're sitting at the table and arguing about the fossil record. What was a day? So the world was created in 6 days. Was it a 24-hour day? Was it a 100-year day, or was it 10 million year day? And so does one automatically mean the other one's incompatible?
Well, I think that can be addressed readily. You see the interrelationship of these living systems in the ecosphere. This is an area where I have some expertise in that I have built the world's first hyperbaric biosphere. I've lectured at NASA on this. This biosphere simulates the conditions of the original Earth, both as we see those conditions academically from the information that's available. We know something of Earth history, we know something of the physics involved if you expand the diameter of the Earth, etc., etc. We know something of the interrelationship of living systems. These living systems all depend on each other. You must have the bacteria present to biodegrade the plant systems and animal systems that were once alive. You must have those plant and animal systems to feed the bacteria. According to evolution, whether it's atheistic or theistic, as if some god orchestrated in the background, according to that system, you have hundreds of millions of years separating these first systems, actually billions of years from the bacteria, supposedly, to early crustaceans.
And I'm going to have to cut you off there because we are out of time, but I want to let people know that if there's any more information you want to know what these gentlemen, that Creation Expo at 2820 North Meridian, taking place through Wednesday. Dr. Willie Dye, Tom Sharp, and Carl Baugh. Gentlemen, thank you all very much for being with us.
Our pleasure.
And just to let you know one thing, that there is no proof of evolution. You got to meet my brother-in-law, because he'll still give proof that there's absolutely no human evolution whatsoever. We'll be right back. Fox News is next on WXNT. Okay, Fridays usually kind of work a little bit better. Monday we're kind of structured. Not a problem.
I'm just working with his, what he told me, so.
No, good to have you gentlemen come on by.
thank you very much.
No, my pleasure. You stay out of trouble, young man.
I'm gonna stay out of trouble, but I'm gonna keep busy. I see you again,
Good season. Hey, take care.